Welcome to another Weather Matters video. Today, again, we have James Ashley from the Bureau of Meteorology and I'm Meredith Guthrie from DPIRD. So we're just going to be talking about where it has been raining. So just in the last 6 months, even though we've had June's been quite favourable, we're still looking at very much below average rainfall for the southwest land division, and there's even an area of the southwest corner there, James, that's had the lowest on record since records started way back in 1900. So that's a bit of concern. And it's also been very warm. So the map on the right there is the maximum temperature deciles for the last 6 months. And that darker orange is actually the highest on record. So it's been very dry and very warm in the last 6 months. Thinking about the last week, as forecast by the Bureau, we had that cold front that came through on the weekend. Myla, they had 177 millimetres. Gingin West, 81, Badgingarra, 53, and Williams, 51. Also, up north got quite a lot of rain. Binoo had 41 for the week, which is great. And in terms of break of season, so these two maps are break of season maps. The one here on the left is looking at 15 millimetres of rain over 3 days since 25th of April. And you can see there's still a lot of locations that are waiting for a break. We've had a break just in the last week in the north here and down here in the Esperance Shire. And if we look at the traditional 25 millimetres over 3 days, which is the map on the right, there's still a lot of locations there, James, that are still waiting for an autumn break. And we're heading into close to the 5th of June. And 5th of June, that's when the sort of change. We're just looking at 5 millimetres over 3 days. So hopefully there'll be a break for everyone very, very soon. In terms of soil water, this is a soil water map produced by DPIRD, looking at the very simple Ritchie model, and you can see everywhere's had a bit of rain, so a lot of places now have a little bit of soil water. There are a bit in the eastern grain belt there and in Esperance and Ravensthorpe shires that have quite dry soil. So hopefully, James, that'll happen and rain will happen and that'll turn around. So over to you, James, talking about what's happening in the next week.
Yeah, thanks, Meredith. Well, we had a couple of significant fronts in the previous 7 days, and it looks like similar again this week coming up. We've got two fronts in particular during this period. The first one on Thursday, I've marked in sort of the line of the front. That sort of reaches the Southwest Capes around the middle part of Thursday, and then we'll push right through the Southwest Land Division during Thursday afternoon and evening. And a feature of this system is that it is dragging some moisture from the northwest. So while most systems, if you looked at that image on the left there, you'd probably think, oh, that's just a typical rain across the lower southwest and not much getting inland. It does look like pulling moisture right across, particularly north and northeastern parts of the Southwest Land Division. So some decent rainfall through most parts on Thursday with that system. And then another front this coming weekend. I've marked in a trough line ahead of the front itself, sort of reaching western parts of the state on Sunday, very early Sunday morning. So we'll start seeing rainfall from this system sort of the second half of Saturday, and particularly in that prefrontal trough. That's dragging moisture from a long way from the northwest, and that will actually produce quite significant rainfall through particularly that sort of central west, northeastern wheat belt. Looks like being a really good rainfall producer for those areas. And then we have the front itself coming through later on Sunday, and behind that, one of those typical cold, blustery, cold westerly airstreams behind that, which will keep rainfall falling in the southwest for a few days. But both these systems are really the significant thing about them is they're both pulling some moisture from the northwest and will produce rainfall across most of the Southwest Land Division. And here's the access model and the EC model on the left, showing rainfall from tonight right through to Tuesday of next week. So most of this rainfall is coming out of those two systems, and you can see quite markedly the rainfall distribution showing pretty significant falls across both models in that sort of central west into the wheat belt districts, and as well as the southwest as per normal with frontal systems. So potentially, 30, 40 upwards millimetres of rainfall falling through a lot of those northern parts of the Southwest Land Division, which is really great news. Just to highlight that area, sort of Albany to Bremer Bay type area near the south coast, looks like missing out with this system, mainly because the rainfall is coming through in a northwesterly airstream, and typically in those sorts of environments, those areas near the south coast there miss out due to the kind of rain shadow effect of the Stirling and Paronga ups. We're just looking further ahead, July to September. These maps look very similar to what we've been showing you over the last month. The rainfall outlooks for WA, generally most places have more than 50% chance of getting above normal rainfall. So that continues into the early part of spring, which is promising news for most areas. All right, so the summary, Meredith. So we saw rainfalls falling across all of WA past week. Those systems, both the two systems that went through last week, both pulled rainfall right through the Pilbara and Kimberley. So really quite amazing to have rain so extensive with a couple of systems during the week. And then we have two more significant cold fronts over the next 7 days. They won't take the rainfall as far north as the recent systems, but they will produce good rainfall through most of the Southwest Land Division, particularly northern and western parts. And in those areas, we could see heavy rainfall, 30, 40, 50 millimetres or more through those areas. And outlooks to spring continue to show that, at least sort of 50% chance or more of exceeding our average rainfall right through to the early part of spring.
Great, thanks, James. Of course, there's the dry season response hotline if you need to have a chat, and some more information on where to get resources, including financial assistance. There's some resources here from DPIRD and also the Bureau of Meteorology, and just launched today was the DPIRD Weather Station app, which is now available for Android phone use. So that's hopefully, you can look at our weather stations there on your Android phones. So our next video, James, will be on the 18th of June. Hopefully everyone will have a break by then. And so stay safe, everyone, and thanks for watching.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.